Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Amanda here, and today's video is really exciting for me because it is my first Paletteful Packs arrivals. Paletteful Packs is an art subscription service that you can get month to month or on a yearly basis. So there's several different options, and there are three options available. You can get a young artist box, which starts at like $30.95 a month. You can get the little Paletteful Petite pack, which starts at like $24.95 a month, or you can go for broke and get the Premier pack, which is the one that I got, and it is starting at $35.95 a month. I'm on a month-to-month subscription at the moment because I don't know how long I want to keep them going, but when I was researching things to subscribe to back in April, Paletteful Packs and Scrawlrbox seemed to be the top two contenders for art boxes. So this is the first one to arrive. My Scrawlrbox should be on the way for June soon, and we will open that up as well. But let's dig into this, see what is actually in this Paletteful pack for June, and actually create something with the contents of the box. So before we get started, let's get business out of the way. Hit that little subscription button down below if you haven't already, and make sure to hit the notification bell as well so you're informed each and every time I upload new content. Alright, there's the business out of the way. Let's jump into opening up this Paletteful box. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to jump right in and see what we've got going besides confetti in this box. I'm going to pull everything out, and then we will look and see what we actually have. And make sure I get everything out of the box. Alright, all that's left is confetti. Okay, so we have the June Paletteful thing, and this is your prompt list. So the Paletteful packs come with a prompt list for each of the weeks of the month. And you're supposed to, one, make a drawing or painting based on your interpretation of the prompt, post it to social media, and use their little hashtag. So we'll see what we feel like doing there. And then on the back of this is the actual contents of the box itself. First things first, we have these Pen Pastels 2-color set in Hansa Yellow and Ultramarine Blue. It says it is a highly pigmented, ultra soft, erasable pastel mix. So you would layer it like you layer paint. There is the yellow and there is the blue. So they're stackable. Okay, so there is that. Next we have the Soft Tools 8-piece starter kit. So these look like little blendy tools to work with pastels. So it shows you working with pan pastels like these. It shows you how to cover it up. Alright, awesome. Okay, General Pencil, Multi-Pastel Gray Tone and Primary sets. So this is the gray tone set of pastels, and this is the primary set of pastels. Oh, I feel like we're going to get really, really messy. And then you have got Strathmore 400 series pastel paper pad. Oh, in assorted tints. So it's got different tinted papers in it. That's nice. So you get the full pack of that. It's 24 sheets. And it says a velour board 8x10. Unless you're a dedicated pastel artist, this is probably a surface you have never tried before. Pastel velour paper has a unique velvet textured surface, ideal for pastels, oil pastel, crayon, chalk, and charcoal. Ooh, it's weird. I have no idea how to use this stuff. The prompts are sky, tired, rock, and wet. So maybe we can try and put together a sky using pastels. I think the colors would lend well to a sky, maybe a sunset type of scene. We've got some blues, we've got some yellows, we've got some white. So yeah, okay, so got a feeling the work surface might get a little bit dirty here, and I went ahead and I laid down this thing, and I think the best way to go about doing this is to sort of watch things out, open these tools, get in here and just see how they react to the actual paper and how they're going to perform. Yeah, let's do that, and then we will see about making a sky. Okay, so initial thoughts are pastels are a little bit messy, which I figured that they would be. I think that these are a lot better than these, but I think these are supposed to be more chalky and more compressed, so they're definitely harder. It says on the back of these to use a paper wrapped stump or chamois. I have no idea how to say that. They didn't give us any of that. I picked up some Q-tips and I got the effect that I wanted from that, so they definitely blended in a lot better. With these, this is not going to work because it seemed to just be tearing up the surface. It didn't really blend it out the way that you would want to. So if you want a softer blend and to lose these pencil lines, and something like this or a stump, you know, would sort of be a good idea. These blended out nicely. A little pigment goes a very long way, as you can see with the yellow, and I was able to mix the yellow and the blue and get the green, and depending upon how much you mix, there's a couple of different little shades there, but you are sort of limited to the colors that you have. It does have an information packet with all of the different colors that they offer in this, so these just happen to be the two in the box, but there are plenty of colors available if this is something that you like and would like to explore further. There are a lot of them. So I think what I'm going to do is, this is going to be so messy because look at it, it's everywhere, is I am going to pull out a piece and I'm going to put it down here on this backing, and we're going to try and just make a sky and see what comes out. Okay, so what I think is I'm going to maybe have a sea background, and so we're just going to kind of have the sun sort of setting maybe on an ocean because of the colors that we have. We'll move from here. There's a big sun in the middle. I have no idea what I'm doing, so we're just sort of winging it at this point, but that's absolutely fine. I'm going to go in here like this. I'm going to see if this will sort of go in around here and give us a slightly more even transition into a red going in here. And I went inside real quick and I grabbed some more Q-tips to help with the blending. I've got some paper towels over here as back up for that, so that I can sort of use my finger and use different parts of that. So we're going to go into sort of yellows here. I want them to sort of blend together, and I have no idea how much of this to sort of lay down either. So let's start with something like this, and then I'm going to sort of go into some reds, see if I can mix them together and make an orange, and go from there. So I guess the idea here is to sort of make a rainbow of color. I'm hoping that that blends together and makes an orange. We'll see. And then we'll go out into reds, and then maybe some blending into blue to make a purple, and then the outside will be blue, and then we can use blue for our sea. I guess a slightly more thick chalk would come in handy. Put this in all around, and then we want to blend this together with the blue. It's like a child's drawing so far. I'm going to try to blend this with my fingers. I'm going to go in with some Q-tips. I'm going to try to change this from something that looks like a 3-year-old got a hold of some crayons and make it into something that looks like an actual person, a grown-up person tried to make a sunset. We're going to see how well that works out. I may have to go in and lay down more color, but we're going to try. So let's see how that works. I wonder if blending with my fingers is going to work. The blending of these two seems to probably, it looks like it's going to go a little bit better than the blending of the others, but we're going to see. And I'm going to got my paper towel here to rest my palm on should I need it, and to clean off my finger. So I'm going to blend this out and add some more color in and see where we end up. Maybe we should have worked on a smaller scale. It's blending okay. The blend here is so much better than the blend with the actual sticks, but we're gonna try to make it work. So I'm gonna keep working at it. So at this point, I feel like we're getting a really, really good lesson in what not to do. So maybe these things just don't blend out the way that they're supposed to. Maybe I should watch a video on how to use it, because I mean, once you blended it into the paper can only accept so much pigment before it's ready to just give up. Okay, so I'm not 100% sure exactly how well these chalk sticks are going to behave on this paper, because they're not exactly pastels, they're compressed chalk. So what I have done is I thought we would work on a slightly smaller scale, and I have cut some 2.5 by 6.5 inch little bookmarks, and I think we're going to go from there. So I'm going to set some of these aside so that it don't get destroyed with color. And I think the idea that I'm going to go for here is to use what I can to create some sunset type skies, or just some skies in general, and then maybe use this to go in and maybe do some silhouettes or something like that. So maybe a tree or something like that silhouetted off in the bookmarks. I think we're just going to sort of just go in. So I'm going to take some of this yellow, and we're going to work it in, see what we can get going here. These are actual pastels, and they really move around the paper quite nicely. It's the chalks that I'm concerned with not moving. So let's see if we can get like a base layer of the yellow down, and I guess expand on it from there with maybe the red or the yellow from the chalk, and hopefully get it to blend out some. So this could maybe be a sort of summery sunset type sky. All right, let's see if we can get some of this just going around the edges. Let's see how it's gonna play into this, and if we work just around the edges, we can see if it'll blend. Let's take this little guy and see if we can blend this out. See if we can get in here and drive in some color. The problem is the compressed chalk is so compressed and so hard. It doesn't really work like I think a pastel would work. Maybe we can add some red in around the edges too. I think the difference in these yellows is really subtle on camera, but you can start to see the differences on the actual paper. So let's try some red right around the edges, and maybe we can make this a summery type sky. All right, so that corner is not too terribly bad. I feel like I can't get the color down as thick as I would want around the edge, but we're gonna try this again and see how well it goes in this other corner. I feel like you really have to get down and scrub this chalk into the actual paper. I almost feel like I'm like burnishing it into the paper to try and get enough color down for it to stay once it's blended. But let's see what that does. That was a little bit better, where I went in heavier to start. It's pretty much even with the other side, and then I can go around this edge one more time to just give that color a good pop on the actual edge. And I'm trying to blend it out with the yellow chalk stick right here, just so there are no hard lines. All right, let's even up this other side. Okay, so I don't know. I think that I'm just going to leave this one here, and we will go in with the silhouettes after. So let's see if we can get something better going with just the hands, because those spread rather nicely. Let me wipe off my hands. So for this one, I'm sort of just going back and forth and leaving some spaces. I'm hoping that that makes this look sort of like clouds. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to do the same thing with the blue. And hopefully that'll give us a nice sky effect. So already I'm just liking the way that this looks better with the white space in it. And just the fact that it's just already blended out with this little tool thing. So I'm going to wipe that off to get the excess yellow off. And I'm going to do the same thing and go in here with some of the blue. So for this, I'm just going in and making some little eraser marks. I'm not really being precise with the eraser, just sort of giving it some streaks to go back in there and give it a little bit more white in some of the areas that the blue took away and the yellow took away, to give it a more cloudy effect. Perhaps a kneaded eraser would have worked a little bit better because it wouldn't leave the shavings, although the Moo eraser is supposed to not leave shavings. So I've just got a little bitty piece of a kneaded eraser here, and I'm going to go in and make sure that all those little things have pulled up. I think what I'm going to go in here and do, I really like the effect before I combine the two colors, so I'm going to leave this one as it is and move it over, and then I'm going to do one with just the blue, and I'm just going in and squiggling this little tool around so there's absolutely no precision at all to this. Okay, there we have a cloudy sky really quickly. And we've got one more bookmark, so let's do the same thing with just the yellow. Okay, so now I think we can grab this and we can start marking out some trees. So I think a nice tree for this yellow one is going to be like a palm tree. So let's just see what we can do here. I'm going to actually just sketch. Maybe we can go down and then smooth it out after without making a complete mess. Alright, so we've got a trunk, and then our palm trees are going to come out in these triangles. We put one there. Alright, so there we have one, and I'm going to attempt. We could really use one of those blending stumps, but I really don't know where mine are. So we're going to try to blend this out and make it solid so that it looks nice and even instead of scratchy. Although now that I'm looking at it, that scratchy look almost looked better. I'm almost scared to touch it. I'm scared to touch it because I feel like I'm going to mess it up. I'm just going to blend these out a little so it still has a bit of that charcoal look. There we go. Okay, that's not bad. And will the white go on top of it is a good question, to give it some highlight. I don't know if it's a true white, but it's just some scratchy little highlights, leaves, just to give them something up the trunk, just to give it a little something as well. And then see, just blend it out a bit. I think that's about as good as we're going to get on that. So maybe we can replicate that on the blue. We're going to go in for a different kind of tree here. I'm just scribbling at the end of each of these little sticks. I'm not really going in and blending these out. I'm sort of just stamping the Q-tip on top of the areas that I put the leaves, and it's sort of just smashing the color down into the tooth of the paper. And I kind of like the effect that it's creating. And voila! And our last bookmark, I think I'm going to go in and do the same kind of tree, and that will give this a very sort of maybe Africa type feel. So maybe if I do one of those trees that's just got the bushy parts on the top. Alright, so here we have our 4 sky bookmarks, and I have to say that I really like these 3, and I kind of like the effect that they have when they got finished. And what I'll do is I'll spray some fixative over top of them so that they are nice and set in there, because this is going to take forever to clean up. It's everywhere, so be mindful of the amount of dust that is going to fly if you want to play with pastels or chalks or anything like that. As far as the supplies are concerned, this is not something that I would have bought for myself, and so I'm happy that it was in this and that I could give it a try. I will have to say that these and some soft pastels would be something that I would look further into. In fact, I have some soft pastels and I have some oil pastels, and I will probably attempt to do something more with these. But the actual chalks, I think, are more like charcoal and more chalky, and would definitely work on a different type of surface that just don't have the same blending capabilities, and it is a rather limited color palette. So I do prefer these, and they're probably a much higher quality with these pan pastels. But overall, I like the box. I think the box is worth the money. I think that I really enjoy the fact that something like this is in the box and would be something that I don't necessarily use at all. I've never really worked with pastels before, and by any stretch of the imagination, and I've definitely not really worked with chalk or compressed chalk in an art form. The only time that I've ever used chalk is on a blackboard. So I really like this, and I think that they came out fine. I'd like to see maybe more of what I could do with them, given more colors. So again, it's something that I may try in future. I like how our bookmarks came out, so I think I'm going to spray these with fixative and turn them into little prints for the shop. I think that is going to wrap up today's video. I will be back next month with another Paletteful pack unboxing and art review, and we have a Scrawler box coming at sometime this month, and that video will come out as well. If you like these videos, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like these videos, if they're not for you, shoot, give it a thumbs up anyway, and let me know which is your favorite bookmark in the comments below. I think this one is my favorite. It's a tie between the 2 palm trees, although I do like this one as well. I like the background on this one. I want the background on this one under these 2 palm trees, I think. Alright, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out when you're hitting your thumbs up button, and hit the little notification bell again so you are informed each and every time I upload new content. I'm going to leave you here. I love your faces. I will see you in the next video. Bye.